All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome along to a round of 32 game right now between two very, very special players in the FIFA 19 scene. A lot of the line here down. We have Kurt going up against MegaBit.
Yeah, 55th in the Global Series rankings coming into this is Kurt, and of course MegaBit had a phenomenal season. He's currently residing in 4th as well, so a really tough ask for Kurt if he wants to carry on and continue in this tournament. But of course, he has beaten MegaBit before. We have seen that happen last year in the World Cup. It was actually quite a dominant win for Kurt as well, so I'm sure MegaBit will be thinking of that.
Well, MegaBit has the first real chance of the game here as he's actually going to pick up the scraps, but Kurt does a great job of keeping that ball away from the on-rushing striker there. It was a real opportunity, maybe early on there for MegaBit, but Kurt, I think we should talk a little bit more about him, to be honest with you, Dan, because he hasn't been able to attend a lot of tournaments this year for various reasons, as we all know, but he's really kind of announced himself back on the scene now, and I think he's going to want to really put in a strong performance here. He knows he has to essentially get into the grand finals, potentially win the tournament to go to those E-World Cup final top 16 places. So he's got a lot to do here, but taking down MegaBit is going to certainly be a great way to start that.
Yeah, I think he knows that it's a very big ask for him to actually get to the E-World Cup at this point in the season, but it's entirely possible because he has been there before, but it's not going to be easy when you go 1-0 down to MegaBit either. A great pass and move play from MegaBit, and I think we're going to see a lot of that between these two players. They both do like to keep the ball on the ground, play those short tiki-taka style of passing, and you're entirely rewarded for it there as MegaBit. Just back to your point about Kurt, I mean, he does like to play this certain style of FIFA, and maybe FIFA 19 isn't his game, and we might see him excel in the likes of FIFA 20, but because he's been to the latter stages of tournaments before, and because he's reached those heights, he knows he can do it. So I think it is still entirely possible that we might see Kurt at the E-World Cup.
Still certainly a top caliber player in the professional FIFA scene. 1-0 down to one of the most consistent performers so far in FIFA 19, and that is, of course, MegaBit, the German. There's a lot of accolades to his name as far as this season is concerned, and the first goal on the board here is certainly going to reinforce those accolades and give him the start that he was looking for. But MegaBit's now going to win the ball back. Sabio turning back inside now to Vieira. Kurt steps in though, Ruud Gullit winning an important tackle for him. Mbappe now into R9 Ronaldo. Lovely little square pass there to Vieira. And that's one thing that Kurt loves to do, those quick passes in between those front three players. Really looks to stretch the defence and find those penetrative passes.
It can be very difficult to defend against a player like Kurt as well, because he's just so quick to play that ball around. He's so quick to react to what the defenders are doing. And oh my goodness, it's going to be difficult to react to that as Cristiano Ronaldo just smashes one wide. And MegaBit, he's creating plenty of chances at the moment. Kurt needs to be well aware of that and maybe just tighten up a little bit at the back.
And a real big chance there for MegaBit. Unfortunate not to find the back of the net with that one, but now Kurt, having been let off the hook a little bit by MegaBit, with that missed chance, has the chance to come forward himself, and Virgil van Dijk steps in at just the right second there to win the ball back for MegaBit. And I think we are, going back to your point that you made right at the start of this game, Dan, we are going to see chances just because of the high press and the quick passing that we do see, both defensively and offensively from these players. It allows the space for chances to be created.
Yeah, there are going to be vulnerabilities, that's for sure, but we're also going to see just a good game of FIFA. And I know it sounds strange to say that, but when you get two players who are so evenly matched and like to play FIFA in a similar way, you do get this really nice to watch style of FIFA 19 where you're going to see a lot of just fluid passing and a lot of through balls and nice little runs as well to try and penetrate in behind.
Well, Neymar's got a little bit lucky there, and Benjamin Mendy had to come across to deal with that danger. We saw Kurt desperately trying to maybe predict the pass out from the defence. However, it was dealt with. Vieira now for MegaBit. Strides forward. Gullit, great ball out wide here to Mbappe. Looking to turn back onto that stronger right foot. Fantastic. Quick passing, gets a little bit fortunate. And the fortune favours the brave because Ronaldo puts it in the back of the net and MegaBit doubles his lead.
Yeah, he got a little bit fortunate, but it has mostly been MegaBit throughout the start of this game. He has created the chances. Kurt has struggled really to keep MegaBit at bay, and maybe that's why we're seeing the pause coming out from Kurt now. He might have noticed something that we haven't, and he wants to change tactically to try and answer back to MegaBit here. I mean, Kurt already has taken on some big players already in this tournament, and of course played very well to get through the Swiss phase already. We've got to say the same about MegaBit. He looked great through the Swiss phase, as he has done so many times throughout this season.
And that Swiss phase at this tournament here in Hamburg is nothing to be laughed at, to be honest with you. Certainly the most competitive in my opinion. As we obviously have the top players from the Global Series rankings all here fighting for those 16 places. And I think seeing this pause coming in here from Kurt might be a little bit of a mental reset here, more than a tactical one. We didn't see too many changes. More a case of having a little moment, a little rethink at how MegaBit is coming forward. Maybe just stifling that momentum of MegaBit as well.
Sometimes just a pause, just to calm yourself down sometimes, or even just try and hype yourself up a little bit. You know, long, grueling days that we play in FIFA 19, and yesterday during that Swiss phase was, of course, an extremely long one and a difficult one for many players involved.
Great ball, though, from MegaBit. Mbappe with a chance for the third, but he cannot find the back of the net. And although he's 2 to the good here, MegaBit, the German will be incredibly disappointed with missing that chance. It's normally one that you see stick away there.
Yeah, when you look at the goal he actually did get for his second, and then you see that chance, you'd expect them to almost be reversed in the final result out of the two. But regardless, Kurt only down by 2 goals, so at least he can hang on to something and say he can still get back into this game. We've seen players come back from 4 or 5 goals before, so a 2-goal deficit isn't that hard work.
Well, here's R9. He's going to be upended here around 40 yards out from goal, so a chance here for Kurt to maybe create something. A little bit far out here for a direct effort on goal, so instead goes for the croqueta! Oh. And oh my word! R9 gets it on his left and he just lets fly from distance. I was worried that free kick might have been a little bit far out for the direct shot, but that wasn't much closer.
Just takes it a little bit forward, and the croqueta, just to beat that first man, opens his body up, and wham bam, thank you ma'am, right off the crossbar, and Kurt right back into this game now.
A moment of brilliance there from R9. A 97 rated prime icon moments. Foot item really getting the business done. So now it's 2-1. MegaBit having his lead halved. However, he does win the ball back here after Kurt managed to pinch the ball back from the restart from MegaBit, and now he can build his own attack. Around 40 minutes on the clock now, Dan. Approaching half-time. Who's going to find that next chance? Hullet into Neymar. Hullet takes the strike, and De Gea's forced into the save.
The MegaBit certainly has looked better going forward. Of course, Kurt's only goal coming from that set piece is going to give him a little bit of confidence, but he needs to create more chances in open play if he's going to realistically get back into this game. But he's managed to secure the ball off that corner, so at least now he's going to be able to push his way up the pitch and try and get the final attack of this first half as we close in now to the half-time whistle.
As you say, with that last attack potential here, gets a little bit fortunate with the ball falling back to him in midfield. Hullet, lovely little passing play here. Vieira steps in though. I just can't imagine anyone ever displacing the Hullet and Vieira combo. We always see them at a tournament at some point now.
Yeah, I mean, there's been questions asked of who could replace them, and for a while when Kante's Team of the Year came in, he did feature. We saw Modric's Team of the Year as well, but realistically, Hullet and Vieira as a partnership are just too good, and they may be there for some time if we keep seeing them featured as icons in FIFA games. But there goes the half-time whistle. Not enough from Kurt going forward, in my opinion. It has been all MegaBit, and you can see that reflected in the statistics as well. Just the one shot from Kurt, and it was from that set piece, but at least he scored it, which means he is definitely within a shout if he does manage to find a little bit more possession and a little bit more attacking flair coming into the second half.
Yeah, Kurt's definitely showing that he's clinical when those chances do come, even if they're half chances like we saw from R9. MegaBit on the other side of things, he took 2 chances, but there was one from Mbappe where he was cutting in at the top of the box, had a clear strike at goal and really missed his timing, to be honest with you. And that kind of chance is one that if it gets to the nitty-gritty in these stages, Dan, you have to be taking, in my opinion.
I think when you're going up against any player in this tournament now, because we have that sheer caliber of players, you need to be putting these games to bed when you get given the opportunities. If you have the chance to go 3-4-0 up, you have to take it, because you're going up against someone who knows how to score goals. They are going to be able to get back into a game when their wave comes, because FIFA works like that. It works in momentum, it works in waves. you'll be struggling for a little bit, and then suddenly you'll find a little bit of a rhythm, and you start to get chance after chance after chance, and you have to take advantage of them.
So here we are, back underway then. Second half of our first leg in the round of 32. R9 Ronaldo, beautiful little shimmy away from his man there from Kurt. However, a little bit of contact just knocked him away from the path of the ball. Now MegaBit looking to drive down the line here. Neymar does exactly that. Ronaldo inside, quick passing again from MegaBit here. Chance looks like it's on the horizon, but again, he's just crowded out, but wins the ball back. Neymar takes a strike at goal. De Gea gets a fingertip to it. And it'll be a corner now for MegaBit. Eusebio. Neymar again dancing. MegaBit smartly now deciding to keep possession and build from the back, just avoiding that counter-attack opportunity.
Yeah, I think MegaBit knows that he could throw this game away if he tries to push too hard for these goals. So he's just to be a bit more patient and try and be a little bit more slower with his build-up now that Kurt has got one back.
Eusebio then turns back. Great tackle though from Ruud Gullit again. Such a valuable cog in the machine for so many pros, ultimate teams. Neymar, great little heavy touch there from Kurt as well, just to drive away from a man and maybe bait a pass. Instead just decided to go direct. R9 tries to poke the ball across to Mbappe, but a loose pass there from MegaBit is going to present possession back to Kurt. Chance maybe to strike it himself. R9! Just wide of the target.
So close for Kurt as well, and that whole passage of play is so much better. He's just slowly but surely working his way back into this game now. He just feels a little bit more comfortable on the ball. He's making the right passes, and on the ball as well, with those individual players, the dragbacks that we're seeing in the passes, it does seem to be like he really has worked out how he wants to approach the rest of this game against MegaBit. Sometimes you do have slow starts against certain players, and maybe this is the case for Kurt, because he seems to have sussed things out.
A bit of a change coming in as well. You can see Marco Reus coming on the pitch, just a foot item. We haven't seen too much. That team of the season, 98 rated foot item. Incredible statistics on him. 4-star, 4-star, as we well know. To see how he can influence the game. Here he is on the ball now, MegaBit. Coming forward once more, finds the ball to Gullit and finds the way to get past David De Gea as well. Ruud Gullit stepping up into that advanced position there. And a 2-goal difference as MegaBit scores just on the hour mark.
Yeah, just as you think Kurt's getting back into it and he's feeling a little bit more comfortable, MegaBit goes right down the other end. And kind of puts a pin in it for now in the explosive grenade that is Kurt. We know what happens when he starts to flow in a game. He does just start to pile on the pressure, and we'll have those chances to get back into a game and then turn that game on its head. So let's see whether he can do that here, or whether MegaBit now is going to be able to build on this 2-goal lead and maybe put this tie to bed earlier than expected.
Marco Reus managed to do some defensive work there, but given away by MegaBit. Vieira though, showing his power and physicality in that midfield to win it back almost immediately. It was like he didn't give the ball away in the first place. Mendy now switching the ball through the midfield from left to right. You can see Mendy again available on this left-hand side. Overlapping run from him. Reus goes back inside though with a little reverse pass of his own. Gullit tries to drive in. It was almost as if Kurt was baiting that. You saw him controlling Patrick Vieira there. Almost left that player open, and then just as he saw the animation for the pass begin, just snapped into a tackle.
It's one of my favourite things about FIFA 19 is just the small little mind games that you do see of trying to encourage your opponent to play in a certain way and then pouncing on it when you get given the opportunity to do so. Especially for me in the latter stages of a game when a player is trying to hold on to the ball and you give them the opportunity to run into space so they actually think, oh, I could take a shot on goal, and then you tackle them, and then suddenly you have that final chance to get an equaliser. As there is going to be a pause and a couple of changes. 20 minutes left, Mark, and at the moment, it looks like MegaBit is relatively comfortable with this game.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you. I don't think Kurt's created too much in this first leg so far. As we say, his one goal did come from that free kick where he just shimmered it onto the left foot of R9 Ronaldo and absolutely buried it. It was a phenomenal finish from the Brazilian, but MegaBit has been in control. Kurt has shown some signs, however, if he can just kind of find that little bit of magic in that final third, he might be able to find a way back into this, but MegaBit very much in control. As we say, a 2-goal lead is so fragile because 1 goal just changes everything.
Especially if Kurt can get that 1 goal in this first leg as well and go into leg number 2 just being 1 goal behind, then I think he's going to be more than happy with how he has managed to keep MegaBit at just a few goals, considering how MegaBit's been playing.
Well, he's got to keep it at just a few goals because MegaBit is looking for more. R9, he's going to be offside here. The assistant referee's flag does get raised as the Brazilian was looking dangerous and looking to maybe sneak in and poke one home there. There's still 15 minutes left in this first leg, which is a long old time in FIFA 19, and it's time for Kurt to create a few more chances, and maybe one could come here as he almost reads the pass back there from MegaBit.
Yeah, unfortunately, that 1-2 just not quite coming off. I mean, a 1-2 like that works in so many different versions of FIFA, but in FIFA 19, it can be just taken away from you by the defender. Very difficult to pull off in certain scenarios, but Kurt is persistent with how he wants to play this game, and it's worked so far, and I commend him for it, as of course we know sometimes you want to play football how you appreciate football.
Here's R9, Cricketta. R9 turning again with the drag back. It kind of falls a little bit fortunately there to Kurt, and he doesn't quite get the room to really test the goalkeeper with a shot on target, and now Ronaldo comes forward for Kurt. Big chance here, great ball over the top, has to be, and is! Kurt pulls another one back, and with 8 minutes to go in this game, it's now a 1-goal difference between the two.
Yeah, it was really good build-up play as well, and a really good recognition of where his players were on the pitch. He saw that Mbappe was making that run, so he'd almost already decided he was going to go for a little dink to the right-hand side before the ball had even came to that attacking player. So now he is back into things, and now he is just that 1 goal behind, and MegaBit, again, despite his early dominance, is now going to have to go again to try and increase this 1-goal lead.
He has to be careful here from the restart. MegaBit so dangerous. Ronaldo, though, wins the ball back for Kurt. And he is very much in striking distance ahead of the second leg now against MegaBit. And if you haven't seen a lot of Kurt this year, maybe you're watching FIFA 19 for the first time, this is just a little example of how good a player he is. Back on FIFA 18, one of the best in the world. He is a high-class player who knows how to perform at the highest stage of them all.
I mean, he really was one of the best players in the world, only losing out to MS Dasari, who went on to win the FIFA E-World Cup. So it has been a strange season because we haven't seen him as much as maybe we expected. But at least now he's made an appearance at a major event right towards the end. Who knows, maybe he can progress to the E-World Cup, but even if he doesn't, I'm sure we'll be seeing him again in FIFA 20, and maybe he'll come back to his prime.
Stoppage time here then. Is there one more chance for Kurt? Also, unfortunately for him, a very poor pass from Eusebio there. Might win this header. Maybe there's one more opportunity to go forward. He was down 3-1. He might get the ball breaking back to him here, but at the end of this first leg, Dan, 3-2 to MegaBit, and the German has the 1-goal advantage. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It's time for leg number 2 of this round of 32 game. It's Kurt taking on MegaBit, and if you're just watching for the first time, the first leg fell in favour of the German. He takes a 3-2 advantage into this game.
Yeah, and he deserved that advantage as well. We saw a late resurgence from Kurt, which is what allowed him to get back into the game. We also saw a fantastic free kick as well. But MegaBit ultimately had more attacking prowess about him, had more chances about him as well, and arguably could have scored more goals. So Kurt has done well to keep this to just 1-goal deficit.
I would say, not even arguably, I think he should have scored more, to be honest with you. However, you make a great point there in the fact that he's about taking your chances, and Kurt showed some real fighting spirit to stay involved in this tie. 1 goal between the two after the first leg is really a negligible amount, to be honest with you. And it will be Kurt this time in the white kit going up against MegaBit. MegaBit turning back here, using the full back to try and recreate some passing opportunities to try and move that ball forward. But we're seeing a little bit more patience here from MegaBit in the build-up play, maybe just realising how dangerous Kurt can be on that counter-attack.
Yeah, I think if you give the ball away in dangerous areas against Kurt, he is going to make you pay because of his passing style, because he reads the game so well and he can see those balls in advance. So you have to be very careful. But ultimately, MegaBit did give the ball away anyway, just in not so dangerous an area. And now Kurt, instead, is going to take his time and I think we have seen throughout FIFA 19, for a lot of players, patience is key. It is about just waiting for that right moment before you do play that ball, because otherwise, people are going to counter your mistakes. So it's just about not making the mistake first.
And here comes MegaBit striding forward, looking to add a second goal to his lead at the moment. Tries to take a quick snapshot there with Eusebio. The timing was good, but the finish, unfortunately, was intercepted there, and the through ball, although it looked pretty good, unfortunately, Armand had gone a little bit early there. The defence had stepped up, and it will be a free kick here to MegaBit for offside.
MegaBit is just trying to work the middle of this pitch and has been utilising the width at the same time, but it seems like Kurt has a better read on what MegaBit is attempting to do in this second leg, because he's intercepting well and he's getting his players in the right areas.
Here comes Kurt. First time he's really got near that 18-yard box, and a great little interception coming in from Benjamin Mendy there at fullback, that new team of the season foot item. Such a young talent, obviously in real life, he's moved to Real Madrid very recently. But now MegaBit, another young talent on the ball here, Kylian Mbappe. Bullet is actually going to take it off of him. Twisting and turning now from Mbappe. Great little ball back inside. The El Tornado was beautiful. And at the back post, CR7's there to apply the finishing touch.
And just like that, that 2-goal lead is restored for MegaBit as well. It just seems as soon as Kurt thinks he's back into this game, MegaBit just strikes back instantly to make sure that he puts it a little bit further out of reach. Of course, at the back post there, not much Kurt could have done in the end. But MegaBit gets 2-goal advantage nonetheless. And now it's whether he can actually take a 3-goal advantage, or whether we're going to see Kurt come back into it once again.
Obviously, you know, we see that El Tornado cross quite a lot in competitive FIFA at this level. However, I was particularly impressed with that just because of the position of the two defenders trying to close down that space. MegaBit timed it absolutely perfectly to almost thread the needle to create the opportunity for that cross. And now Kurt has somewhat of an uphill battle ahead of him. Kurt now looking for an early shot there from R9. Defended, and it just deflects away here, and MegaBit will actually win possession back.
There's still plenty of time for Kurt to get back into this, and I think if he focuses on the positives that we saw from leg one, he should be able to at least find a couple of chances in this game. It's whether MegaBit maybe has recognised how Kurt is attacking and is being able to stop this pass and move style from happening, or whether Kurt is still going to be able to sneak some of these balls through on that.
MegaBit again being very intentionally laboured in his build-up, trying to make sure that he's working the defence of Kurt here, stretching them across the pitch before he kind of steps into those attacking areas. With a 2-goal lead, you can afford to do this, but you can't afford to make little mistakes like that. Kurt almost winning the ball back, but MegaBit now coming forward again. Vieira tries to do a little reverse pass, but this time it was Kurt's Patrick Vieira who managed to cover the ground to make the tackle.
He's just going to be building up slowly once again. He's not intimidated by the 2-goal deficit and it being in the second leg, and he has managed to spread the ball wide as well here. Plenty of space and plenty of options. Great
ball across as well, and it might fall here to Mbappe. The goalkeeper has to be off his line as quickly as possible. Van der Sar diving down at the feet of the Frenchman, excuse me. Just as Kurt was looking dangerous, but now it's been given away again, and MegaBit, he has been known in the past to get a little bit nervy in these situations, and Kurt's just applying the pressure. Great move here from Kurt. He gets fortunate. Ball's dropped back into Neymar, but he can't get that shot away.
I preferred Freet of the Frenchman, personally. I think you should have just rolled with it, but that got a little bit messy. Almost as messy as Freet of the Frenchman. But either way, MegaBit's been able to survive, and he's been able to keep the ball here, and most importantly, keep the ball out of the net. But Kurt is certainly starting to knock on the door now.
Well, here is Neymar inside the box, and it's a Brazilian, a beautiful reverse pass. And that's how dangerous he is. He gets inside that 18-yard box. He finds the pass he needs to. And Kylian Mbappe is not going to miss from there. Kurt is very much back in this game. 1 goal the difference on aggregate. And there's still a little bit of time left before even the half-time whistle goes.
Maybe appropriate to see a crawling celebration as well, because Kurt is slowly but surely crawling back into this game. Every single time MegaBit thinks he's just getting out of reach, we do see a reply from Kurt. And I think we are in for quite a game here. this second leg, because it doesn't look like Kurt is going to be letting MegaBit run away with it.
What a statement this would be as well, Dan, you know, for Kurt to come in here and just remind everyone how good he is by taking down a player like MegaBit. Really would be a statement moving forward, not only in this tournament, but potentially if Kurt can pull off this miracle run here towards the E-World Cup finals ahead of that tournament. Which reminds everyone just how good that he is on the pad. But now we're going to see him coming forward again. A lot of work to do. Still down by 1 goal in this game. Great tackle though from MegaBit there, just sees the ball out of play.
But as you were saying, I mean, to be the best, you have to beat the best, and that's exactly what is on that is the task at this tournament. Quite simply, he has to win the event. He can't just get to the final and come second. He needs to win. He needs 1,800 points.
It's a great ball across, and it's the post that denies Kurt. Again, he did so well to beautifully dissect the defense there of MegaBit. And it was just a finishing touch from just a few yards out that evaded him there. I felt like that was almost a certain goal, but at half-time, you can see the statistics much closer at the end of this first half than the first half we saw in the first leg.
Yeah, more chances for Kurt. He looks so much better going forward, and he was inches away there from equalising and getting right back into this tie. And I think that's going to worry MegaBit a little bit, because no matter what MegaBit does, Kurt seems to come back and get back into the game. And if Kurt can equalise, if Kurt could take the lead, then what's MegaBit going to do then? Is he going to be able to get a goal back? It's a scary situation when you go up against players with experience. And I think that is what is happening here at playoffs, because we have 64 players who have the experience. They've earned their way to be here, but then they also have the history as well from FIFA 17, from FIFA 18, and that's exactly what Kurt offers. And these two players in particular have that history. It's all going to add to the mind games. I bloomin' love it.
We'll have to see how this second half progresses now. Both players know what they've got to do, but almost in these kind of situations, you prefer to be in the boots of Kurt, to be honest with you, because you kind of got that nothing to lose mentality, and those negative thoughts aren't in the back of your head, quite simply because you know you just got to score. You don't have those thoughts of keeping the ball or overcomplicating things. For MegaBit, it's kind of, do I go forward? Do I sit on this lead? Do I try and extend my lead? Do I try and see it out? It's such a tough decision to make.
I mean, you've called me crazy before, but when I restart, if I go into a second leg or if I go into a second half, I would always rather be behind by a goal than ahead by a goal. And you think I'm silly? I probably am silly, but I'm just more comfortable chasing a game than holding a game. And I think that comes down to just you as a player. How do you deal with that pressure if you're a goal ahead? Can you still play your natural game, or do you naturally just become a little bit more passive in your play, which opens up more opportunities for your opponent? There's so many different factors that come into the equation when you are playing a 1v1 game of FIFA 19.
Kurt's managed to release Eusebio down this left-hand side at the start of the second half. Great ball up to R9, holds it up well. Great target man almost play from R9, and see, unfortunately for Neymar there, he didn't win the ball twice and he just got dropped on the floor twice. Vieira now brings it away from MegaBit though, well defended by the German. Eusebio gets the ball out wide here to Neymar, just beats the challenge of Patrick Vieira, and Mbappe now looking dangerous. If MegaBit can find another here, it really could be an uphill battle for Kurt, but he gets it away.
Yeah, how many times can MegaBit go 2 goals up and Kurt just get straight back into things? That's the real question. It's whether actually Kurt can equalise or not, but it is Kurt coming forward with lots of space here.
Big chance here for Kurt to find that equaliser. Oh, well read though by MegaBit. The La Croqueta, we know how dangerous it is, but if you do pick the right way to put that standing tackle in, you can successfully defend it, but it's much more difficult to defend that quick passing play from Kurt. And again, MegaBit does a fantastic job.
But again, Kurt just inches away from having a clear-cut chance on goal. If he manages to secure one of these final balls, if he manages to secure one of these skill moves to beat that final man, he could well and truly get back into this game. So MegaBit, he's going to be ensuring the fact that he wants to press, he wants to look for that 2-goal lead, because a 1-goal lead does not look safe right now.
Kurt continuing to press then. R9. Looks for that ball out to Eusebio. It's a great run there from the Portuguese icon. Unfortunately, just couldn't outmuscle the 2 defenders who have come across to deal with him. MegaBit really has seemed to go into his shell a little bit, as you would expect, holding on to that lead with just 30 minutes left in this game, but it's just inviting pressure at this point And Kurt almost managed to pinch the ball back there.
Kurt is pressing more as well, using those CDMs higher up the pitch to try and stretch out the long legs of Hullet and Vieira, but he's going to leave himself vulnerable at the back, but he wants those mistakes. He wants to encourage those passes from MegaBit, and there might be a chance to get back into it.
It's risky, but when you're chasing the game, sometimes you have no chance but to take those risks. And here comes Kurt once more. One goal the difference between the two players. Hullet into Eusebio, chance to strike it. What a strike from Eusebio, and Kurt has turned this around.
It's the breakthrough he's been searching for. He doesn't have to worry about 2-goal deficits now because he's right back into this game. And now he can start taking this game to MegaBit. He can start showing why he wants to move on, why he wants to progress further in this tournament, why he should be considered one of the big names in FIFA 19. MegaBit 4th seed, Kurt 55th seed, and we're all tied up with only 25 minutes left.
Incredible scenes here. What a strike that was. As well, that's 2 incredible finishes we've seen from Kurt across the 2 legs. The first one from R9 that opened his account in this particular matchup between himself and MegaBit, and that second one there from Eusebio, just absolutely pinpoint perfect.
A great finish for him. And now it's, where does he go? Where does he build from this? We have seen throughout this tournament when players get that equaliser, maybe they take their foot off the gas ever so slightly, and their opponent will pounce on that and take full advantage. But I feel like momentum definitely in Kurt's favour right now. He's flowing well, he's playing some good FIFA. Certainly has a chance to win this time.
And again, it's just MegaBit. One of those positions where you're leading, and as we were talking about, you ask yourself those questions: do I hold on? Do I stick or twist? And he decided to try and stick, and it's worked against him. Kurt's managed to break him down, and now the game is essentially back at 0-0. MegaBit coming forward now. Mbappe had a little bit of space, maybe got the fake shot angle a little bit wrong there, but the Frenchman had to work hard to win the ball back, and he has done that. Vieira, chance here for Mbappe, goes across goal! And he's back in the lead. What a finish from Kylian Mbappe.
For all the hard work for Kurt, MegaBit goes down the other end and says, you're not back in this one just yet, sunshine. 5-4 now. And as that clock is slowly but surely ticking down, Kurt's chances of continuing in this tournament are slowly disappearing as well. He already knew he had a very big task on hand to even get far in this tournament, let alone qualify for the E-World Cup, but maybe MegaBit will be that final hurdle, which is just too much, or maybe we might see Kurt just explode once again and find his pass and move potential to get back into this.
And he's come from behind numerous times already against MegaBit here. He's going to have to find the energy and the reserves to do it once more, and the first step to that is winning possession back of that ball. Neymar, 15 minutes left in this game. Pull it into R9. Kurt streaming forward, tries the accelerated fake shot around Ruud Hullet, but that's a fantastic tackle from the Dutch icon.
I do like how Kurt doesn't just rush to play a through ball when he sees a player with a chance to just be beating the man across that final line. Instead, he will just go for a drag back. He will be a little bit more patient, plays the 1-2 to try and get a clear-cut through ball chance. It's really nice patient build-up.
MegaBit can't create a chance of his own here, and you can see how quickly defence is now turning into attack for Kurt. Inviting the fullback to join him now. Varane, unfortunately, for Kurt, can't find that ball down the line to find a teammate to try and attack that byline. Now we're just 9 minutes left. Can MegaBit quite simply hold on?
And if he holds on to the ball and he keeps Kurt off the possession, then he should be able to, but Kurt makes the challenge, but it's a foul, so that does mean MegaBit still is going to have the ball here. And MegaBit now, he knows what he has to do to win this game, to progress in this tournament, and it's quite simply keep Kurt away from the ball, and it is doable. It's difficult in FIFA 19, as you can apply the pressure, you can bring that second man in, and of course, if you do win that ball, if you've given it away in a dangerous area, then you are at risk of maybe conceding a goal, but MegaBit is an experienced player, and he has done and performed so well throughout this season that, you know what, I think he should have this.
And the one thing is, though, that Kurt has on his side that he's shown already across the 2 legs is he only needs one chance down. He has been so clinical in front of goal. The real question is, can he manufacture one more chance to give himself the chance to even find a way to be clinical in front of goal? Free kick here to MegaBit then. Havertz on the pitch as well. Where he is to bring on team this season, Kai Havertz.
I think if Kurt can win the ball back, then there is entirely a chance that he gets a goal, but he needs to be careful here. Is MegaBit actually going to go for a goal? He does! Gives the ball away. I think that's a mistake. I would have gone wide.
And look at the spacing behind here as well for Eusebio.
Oh.
Unfortunately, the space was attacked a little too early. That's got to be a little bit frustrating here for Kurt. Knowing that there was an opportunity to find that through ball, now he has to work hard to win the ball back again. With just 5 minutes left on the clock, you have to wonder, is there enough time to win it back?
You think that MegaBit now should have learned from his mistakes of going for that pass, and he'll try and hold on to the ball.
Win this back though.
He still does have it on the left-hand side, but he is playing it central. He's getting aggressive, is MegaBit.
Havertz looks towards the back post. What a win. That was, I think it was the head of Rafael Varane who managed to beat the man at the back post. MegaBit again going for goal in that situation. Who's that going to bite him? Kurt streams forward once more. Potentially the last real chance of the game. Mbappe's got it on his right! And he's tied it up at the dead! Kurt won't say die. It's 5-5 on aggregate.
And I feel like MegaBit's brought this on himself. He had the opportunity to keep the ball. He could have run it into the corner. Maybe showed not enough respect to Kurt. And he's given Kurt a way back into this game. And as it stands, we're going to be heading into extra time, 5-5. And what a game we have here in the round of 32. It's just the round of 32. Of course, so much more left in the tournament. The winner of this will proceed to the round of 16. And still so much further to go if you want to be able to win this.
Can MegaBit create one more chance? No, he can't. We are going to extra time. A last gasp equaliser there for Kurt. And I mean, let's just quickly talk about how difficult it is to time that finish, Dan.
Very difficult. I mean, it gets progressively harder the further you get into tournaments and the more pressure that is applied on your shoulders. And I mean, especially for Kurt, as he does have a big fan base. There is expectations at this event for him to turn up, for him to perform, because he's done it before. So when you're down in the 90th minute by a goal and you get presented with that opportunity after your opponent should have realistically held onto the ball, I mean, that takes some nerve. Kurt has showed the bottle there and he's been rewarded with extra time.
So then extra time on the horizon. I think we're going to go all the way to penalties here?
I mean, it definitely could be on the cards with how quickly and how successfully both of these players have responded as soon as another player looks like they have a chance to get out of reach. And it has been MegaBit taking the advantage every single time and Kurt crawling his way back in. I think the interesting factor would be if Kurt takes the lead, whether MegaBit would have the chance to get back into things.
That's a great point. Kurt has yet to take the lead in this tie. It's always been MegaBit who's kind of struck first in that battle. Kurt's had to come back, but he hasn't got too far out of sight. He's always been within striking distance, and for Kurt that's been good enough to send this to extra time. Wins the ball back here from the restart. Risky pass there, and Cristiano Ronaldo wins it. Havertz now, Messi battling with Ruud Gullit. The referee will give a free kick though. Kurt can just take a moment here to once again build from the back.
I think because he's been presented with this opportunity of 30 extra minutes now, he can be a little bit more patient. He is drawing and he has worked his way back into this game. Just calm the nerves a little bit and try and see where he can puncture MegaBit's defence.
Here's Kurt. Cricketta, big chance! He's taken the lead! Somehow, Kurt has turned this one around. And again, it's the fox in the box, Eusebio. Every time he's been presented with a chance, he has found the back of the net. And from behind for so long in this tie, Kurt finally, in extra time, finds a lead.
I mean, it looked like he was down and out. It looked like he was going to be out of the competition, not having any chance of even getting close to the E-World Cup. But the last-minute goal, and now, finally, taking the lead against MegaBit, and instantly this tie is flipped on his head. How's MegaBit going to be responding? How can he get back into this game? Can he show what Kurt showed, the resilience not to let his head drop?
He's got to show some real fortitude here if he wants to get back into the game. Must be so difficult to take when you've led the game in so many different scenarios. To finally fall behind, but here's Lionel Messi. Modric linking up with him as well. Chance for Messi. First block comes in. Lionel Messi, though, puts it wide of the upright.
How was that not gone in? You'd expect the finish. I don't care if it's on a weak foot. Messi should be putting those in, but going to be another chance here as Kurt does give it away from the goal kick.
Yeah, big mistake here from Kurt, and is he going to be punished for it by MegaBit? Ronaldo turning on a sixpence, shows his power, and he lays it off to Ruud Gullit, who tries to put some power behind his shot himself, but he can't get past the block of the defender. Modric inside the box now, goes across goal, another save here from De Gea.
And MegaBit really upping the pace now and putting the pressure onto Kurt. Looking for an equaliser from this corner. That's something different.
Goes all the way back to Lionel Messi here, and Havertz will turn inside. Havertz can go either side, of course, with that 5-star weak foot. Same with Ruud Gullit. Mbappe now into Messi, finally on that left foot, and just at the last second, the space was closed down. Still a chance here for MegaBit. Messi again. Pressure still on here for MegaBit.
And that's going to be the half of extra time as well. 15 minutes remaining. 15 minutes for MegaBit to show us why he is the number 4 in the world. 15 minutes for Kurt to show the community why he deserves to get further in this tournament and why he should be considered one of the best in the world. So much on the line now, and just 15 minutes. And 15 minutes in game doesn't feel like a long time. When you're playing, it's not long.
That's a couple of chances each in my book. It really is. And it's a case of, we talk about it a lot, it's being clinical in the moment. It's being clutch in the moment when it matters. Being at your best in the moment. So 15 minutes left to decide who is going to move on. It's, I mean, where's your money right now?
It's really hard to call it because Kurt has done very well to respond to MegaBit when MegaBits get aggressive, but MegaBit, the way he's responded since Kurt's gone up, it looks like he should be able to... He should have got a goal, realistically, with the chances he created. If Kurt can hold on, if Kurt can get possession and stop MegaBit from having these chances, Kurt should be able to close this game out. But if Kurt gives it away, or if maybe he's not able to regain possession from the kickoff, we might see MegaBit get back into it.
Well, here is MegaBit then flowing forward from the restart. Ruud Gullit, great ball into Ronaldo. Mbappe looking dangerous. Havertz! Oh, can you believe it? Straight from the restart, Kai Havertz steps up on that left foot. And Kurt had the lead. But once again, the lead doesn't last very long in this game.
Yeah, and that was my concern, is that if he could win possession back, then he could have held on to the ball, but he's not even given the opportunity to hold the possession, and he's going to now have to go back at MegaBit and maybe see if he can get something from the restart here, but he's still in it. It's still all tied up, but MegaBit's done very well since going a goal down. A lot of players in that situation, when you've had the lead for so long, when you've kind of dominated in terms of how many shots you've taken, when you fall then to that player and you start to lose your lead, players do crumble. MegaBit didn't. He kept his head held high, and he's been rewarded for that, as he's now right back into this game. I'll tell you what an amazing game this has been in the round of 32 as well. And I guess that's what you get when you come to playoffs and you get the best of the best going up against each other.
What a vital goal that could be. Reminder that Kurt needs to win this tie to just have an opportunity at making one of those top 16 places. He needs to go all the way. And MegaBit at the moment is stealing that chance away. And here comes MegaBit again. Kurt can't afford to concede again now, and it's just wide of the upright. What a chance that is.
So I thought that had gone in. It looked like he was sailing into the top corner, but Kurt survives. And MegaBit doesn't find that goal to take the lead, and at the moment it looks like we're going to penalties.
Tries to move that ball forward as quickly as possible, as he has to, but he wasn't able to. Ramos is trying to come across to deal with Havertz. Beautiful use of the body there from MegaBit. Ronaldo plays it across to Mbappe. Ball back in the hands now of Kurt. A chance to go forward.
You've always got to assume that it's going to be a last chance as well. When it gets this late in the game, we see so many players hold on to the ball and look for that final opportunity.
Big chance though. It's come across to Neymar, and Kurt could win it here. The Brazilian has stepped up And it's 7-6 now on aggregate. In that moment, Kurt came good.
This man will just not give up. It doesn't matter how many times MegaBit goes ahead or stunts his growth. Kurt is always going to be there to respond, and now, with just a few minutes left in this game, it is entirely a possibility that he goes through and knocks out one of the big names in the FIFA community. And quite rightly, a pause happens because you've got to change your tactics on both sides.
So just moments away now, Kurt, from, as you say, Dan, taking one of the biggest names, one of the big guns out of the tournament and really laying down a marker for everyone else who's left involved. I mean, for MegaBit right now, he's just got to go 3 at the back, throw everyone forward. He's maybe got time for one more attack.
Maybe. I think that Kurt just has to really focus up now for these final few minutes, for this final attack from MegaBit from the kickoff. If he can try and just steal the ball early around that center circle, he should have this game in the bag. And what a statement it would be, as you say, because essentially, he kind of takes 4th seed off of MegaBit in this tournament. And that means his tournament run is going to be a little bit easier. He's going to be facing some of those players around that kind of, I don't know, 10 to 30 area in terms of seedings. He has a really good shot of getting to the latter stages of this tournament, which is what he needs if he wants to get to the World Cup.
Can MegaBit find his way back into this? Not for the first time. Both players have been trading punches. And at the moment, it's looking like Kurt, who has had the knockout blow. Ball falls back here to Ronaldo. Oh, what an interception from Patrick Vieira that is. That is as good as a goal there for Kurt.
Massive interception. It should be a game-winning interception as well, but no, okay, it's gone out for a throw and it's still in Kurt's possession. And I'm sure he'll be thanking all of the lords above that he still has it. And this should be enough, surely, Mark.
Oh, he's giving it away, though. Maybe one more chance for MegaBit. What a tackle that is from Kurt. And I'm pretty sure, even with the pressure that's coming from MegaBit, he'll be able to hold on. And somehow, some way, after what was an incredible battle between these two, Kurt is the man who comes out on top and moves on.